So what type of car should you use on the Uber platform? Well, I recommend a car that's fuel efficient, Honda, Toyota, Kia, just more of like the four-door cars that are pretty good on gas, and that you're not spending a lot of money on repairs. The cars that you don't want to use are like the BMW, Lexus, Mercedes, Audi, like all the cars that are luxury cars, because the more miles you put on these cars, the more repairs, and it could get really costly. So if you can't get back on the road, then you're going to lose money. It's all about efficiency, that you maximize your earnings. You're not putting it back into your vehicle. So if you're out there driving and you need to put premium gas, you're spending a lot of money. What if you're not getting good gas mileage? Then you're just really pouring what you're making back into your car. I mean, it's a business, but we have to think really smart. We have to drive smart. Just like just the decisions that we make with our cars could make a difference on how much money we could make. Because if we're not making money, then we're not going to stay with Uber. We're not even going to stay with ride sharing, because it's all about just really getting out there and having fun. But you want to make money, because unless you're out there just to have fun and you just want to meet people and you're just like, okay, I love Uber just for social connections, then that's fine. But I think that the car that you choose is going to make a big difference. So you don't want to get on the road with a car that has a lot of miles on it already. So say if you haven't bought your car yet, then you want to get a vehicle that has probably like less than 50,000 miles, because you don't want to get something that has like 90, because you're going to need a lot of repairs soon, because you're going to have that 90,000 mile service or that 100K service. Things go wrong when you're ride sharing. You're going to hit things in the road. You're going to drive over like potholes, like things that you can't avoid, because you have to watch keep an eye on your passengers. But at the same time, you're going to be driving on bad roads, and there's gonna be a lot of traffic, and there's a lot of starting and stopping, and going up into like the hills, and going up hills and going down hills. So your brakes are gonna take a beating. Your tires will really get a lot of wear and tear fast. Like you could go through your tires, maybe in like 6 months you'll need new tires. And there's a lot of things that you have to really take into account with the vehicle, because you don't want to be driving your dream car. You don't want to get out there on the road and drive your dream car and then ruin it. And then now when you don't want to drive Uber anymore, now your car is like just beat up. Your shocks are broke, your axles broke, just all these things, like all these repairs, your cooling system, because you're always sitting in traffic. And especially in Los Angeles and in the Bay Area, there's a lot of traffic. And just really sitting in traffic, with like 4 people, there's extra weight in the car, and you might have their luggage because they're going to the airport. It's just really not healthy for the car. So if you want to get a car just for the ride sharing, because you want to start with Uber and you could afford it, then a good option is just getting one of those economical cars that have good fuel efficiency, because you want to spend less on gas, because gas prices are going up. So the more you spend on gas, the less that you're going to be driving on the road, or the less profit you're going to make, because it is a business, because we're like independent contractors. But you also don't want to be spending all your money to operate. Then it does not make sense to get on the road. I mean, there is it's fun driving people, but sometimes when you have car problems and things happen, like something could fly up and hit your windshield, like a rock, crack it, and then now you can't pass the inspection, or now your windshield's broken and now you can't get on the road. There's other things that could happen. You could hit something and blow your tire out, or somebody could slash your tires, or your car could get stolen. So your car is very important. Your car is like pretty much the source of your driving, because you're a driver, but you're also like an Uber partner. So you could kind of run your business the way that you want to run it. Just really take their advice, Uber's advice, and then take advice of, there's no like right or wrong way to operate, but But I always say that, get the best car that will allow you to stay on the road and make it comfortable for your clients that you transport, and that it has space, because you don't want to get something like some type of smaller type C Prius where everybody's like just squeezed in there like little like pins, like they're like bowling pins. Like you want, they need room in the car. So if you get something that has some space, there's a lot of cars from every brand. It depends on what brand you want. If you like Honda, you like Toyota, you like Kia, there's some American cars. It's just up to you. But get something that's good on gas, that has some space, has some trunk space so you can put the luggage in. And sometimes people are moving stuff, and they need you for more than just taking them to the airport. They're like moving some of their stuff to another location because they're moving and they're getting a new apartment. Then what you want to do is like have enough space so you could carry those items, because people use Uber for all kind of things. Like they're transporting everything. And plus when you pick up clients and they have their little kids, there are moments that they're gonna need to put their baby chair in the back. So you want to everybody to be squeezed in. If you have like this little no space, and you're just like you can't get comfortable. So when you're doing Uber Pool, you got all your riders bumping elbows and stuff. So you just you want something that has space, that's comfortable, that's good on gas, and just really will not cost you a lot on repairs, and it's not going to be impossible for you to get parts and that you could service, because you're going to have to get a bunch of oil changes because you're going to be driving a lot. If you're a power driver, you're going to be driving a lot on the road, and you have to balance it out. You can't be out there driving until you drive your car into the ground, because you drive the way that you want to drive to make some money, you're definitely going to find that your car is going to have a lot of miles in 3 years, and you might not even be driving that car in 3 years. So you need to get a car that can handle those miles. But it's not impossible to put 400,000 miles on a new car in like 4 years doing Uber driving. So you just want to pick a car that is comfortable for you, because you're going to be on the road a lot, and you want something that's not going to take you off the road. When I say take you off the road, it's going to have cooling issues, it's going to have engine problems and things, because you could get a new car and that car could fall apart if you don't take care of it. But it's kind of hard. When you're driving a lot of people, you're just on the road a lot, and you're just getting just a lot of rides, and you're just driving all day long. Sometimes you get like 50 rides in a day. But with the new feature that Uber has, that keeps you on the road for 12 hours, takes you off for 6 hours, then you're not going to be getting as many trips as you used to. But you still could get a lot of trips in a span of say 12 hours. You could get 40 trips, because you get Uber pools, you get shorter rides, you get longer rides. There's a balance in rides. You just really don't know what you're going to get. But when it comes down to the car, I say something that's not not your dream car. Don't ruin your car. Just get a car that you feel comfortable with driving, that's fuel efficient and really reliable, has space. And black cars are pretty nice. It doesn't matter what the color, but black car looks pretty clean, because it's like the Uber Black, because that's how Uber started, with Uber Black car service, with town cars. So you get a black car, you get it all nice and clean, it looks professional. So yeah, so you have many options. It's just that if you want to be efficient, then you need something that's good on gas. It's not going to cost you a lot on repairs. That's not going to be impossible to fix. Is this if you have a nice BMW, Mercedes, Audi, all the luxury cars, Lexus, those are good on the Uber, I say Select. But if you're on Select, sometimes you're taking Uber X, because they need drivers for Uber X. So they might be sending those requests out to more of the premium drivers. So it's just really up to you what you want to drive. Because I don't want to tell anybody oh, you need to get this car. Is this, if I was consulting you, then I would tell you the best car, I think. But you don't have to take my advice. But I believe that if you get something like a Toyota Corolla, maybe a Honda Civic, some Kia Optima, something like that, then you could have a good time doing Uber driving and still make some money, be comfortable, and you're not going to be pouring all your money back into your car, because you need to make a living. So if you want to drive for part-time, that's fine. But if you're a full-time driver, you need to be careful, because if you miss work, something happens to your car, then you're not driving, then you're not earning, and if you're not earning, then you're not surviving. So it's very important that you get the right car to to succeed on Uber. Because things like I say tires, brakes, I mean, those things are going to need to be changed, but more often. So you're going to have to do it more often because you're on the road a lot. You're going to be on the road a lot. If you're driving in the city, San Francisco, then you're going to stay within San Francisco, but maybe you get rides outside of the city. And if you want to go back to the city, then you need to drive back to the city. But if you leave your app on, you're going to be getting rides that might be taking you backwards unless you're using the filter to go back to the city. So if you stay in the city, you may not be driving as many miles. But if you go outside, then you're getting rides all over. So the more miles you drive, you're going to be driving all over the place. So it's not impossible to drive like 1,000 miles, because you're driving around, in a week, even on the weekend. It's just that you're driving all over the place because you're looking for requests, and you get the requests, and you have to go pick them up, and then you have to drive them somewhere, and then you're looking for a ride. So you're on the the app is on. You're like looking. Plus, you have to go to the rider when you get the request, and then you have to drive the rider. So there's just a lot of miles that you're driving. So if you don't have like a good car, you don't want to have problems when your client is in the car because they're going to rate you. And if they're not comfortable and your car's not good, then you're going to have problems with your car. So you want to be comfortable driving your car, but you also want to give a good service. You don't want like a beat up car, driving around and your car's like shaking like you're in a like a train or something. You want a smooth ride, and you want to feel comfortable driving too, because you're going to be sitting down in a car for the whole weekend or for the whole week driving a lot of people. You want to be comfortable doing that. You don't want to be like, awkward, like, oh, like I don't like the way this car drives and all that. So just really, I mean, you could get a used car. I've seen some deals on the road, 2015, 2016 cars that are still relatively in good shape that would be perfect for Uber driving. I could spot those cars. Is this that, ultimately, you want to make some money, have fun driving people, but you want to have a reliable car and you want to be comfortable doing it. So I feel that if you get the right car, then that's like one aspect of, for you to do good on the Uber platform. Is this that because your car is like your money maker. I mean, you need to drive it, you need to be healthy yourself, but you need a good car that be healthy in order to make some money with Uber, because there's money to be made. I mean, they take their commission, but otherwise, if you didn't drive with Uber, you couldn't pick up people legally. So it's understandable that you're going to pay them a commission. They're not taking half your money, they're taking 20-25%, depending on what service. Like for me, I've been driving for over 4 years, so they're going to take 20%, but I think after a certain date, I think it was like 25%. So I mean, the commission changes each time. You have to agree to the terms and conditions. So the commission does change from time to time, and you have to agree to it before you could go on the app. Sometimes they do updates, but I always pay 20%. So there's money to be made. You get longer rides. You drive an hour, in the Bay Area, and if you're going from San Francisco to North Bay, you're going to make money. So you want to have a car that will make it comfortable for you to drive long distance, short distance. Is this that it's not going to cost you a fortune on gas, and and if you have any questions about what kind of car, I'll answer those. I know what cars do work. I drove a BMW X5 and it was like taking me off the road. I was losing a ton of money. I was not like, people were breaking my doors. I was blowing shocks out, hitting like drains and stuff, and breaking axles because somebody had dropped a bunch of wood in the road, and I was like, I couldn't even move because other cars were hitting it, and it was projecting towards my car. So you just want to be careful with what car you drive. If you really love your car, don't drive it on Uber, because it's almost like destroying something that you love. So don't do that. Like, drive a car that is good for Uber, that will maximize your earnings, because that's the goal. Maximize your earnings. Drive when there's bonuses, drive in the red when there's like surges, drive with boost, and also drive a good car so you could so you can handle the type of driving, the wear and tear. And thank you, do great with Uber with a nice car.